Done. Something he has to say because his performance is saying otherwise. And that's why this isn't about Tiger. There's another aging athlete out there that doesn't need to say anything. He's letting his play speak for himself. And that's the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Tiger's old buddy, Roger Federer. Federer, 3 years removed from his last major win and almost 34 years old, is still ranked second in the world. Tiger is still overwhelmingly popular even when he's ranked 241st. And that's why I posit that Roger continues to be the most underrated superstar of our lifetime. While Tiger's out there trying to tell us he's not done, Federer's making Grand Slam finals. And think about the disparity in career length in golf and tennis. Jack Nicklaus won the Masters when he was 46. There's never been a male major tennis winner in the Open era older than 37. Agassi won his last one at 32. Sampras at 31. Tiger is, as he pointed out so pleasantly, only 39. In tennis years, Federer's 33 means he is supposed to be ancient. Pull out the rocking chair. Which is why, while Tiger is missing cuts, what Federer did at Wimbledon this year was truly ridiculous. He gave us flashes of vintage Roger, and that was an awesome sight to see again. Because in his prime, Roger was untouchable. He first turned pro in 1998 and vaulted inside the top 10 in October of 2002. Slowly but surely, the ascension took place, and then he just obliterated everyone. From 2004 to 2007, it was the golden age of Federer. He won 11 of 16 Grand Slam singles titles and went 315-24. In 2004, he became the first man since Mats Wilander in 1988 to win 3 Grand Slam singles titles. That 4-year run was the equivalent of Al Pacino from 1972 to 1975. The Godfather, Serpico, Godfather Part 2, and Dog Day Afternoon. Attica! Attica! And then came the beginning of the alleged demise for Federer. 2008 featured what many tennis aficionados believe to be the greatest match of all time. The heart-stopping thriller won by the Swiss maestro's greatest rival, Rafael Nadal. In L. John Wertheim's marvelous book, Strokes of Genius, Federer's loss feels like Caesar on the edge of ruin, the once mighty king finally, in an elegiac way, relinquishing his throne. But Fed flipped the script a year later, and what I contend was just as remarkable a match. Federer over Roddick in 5 sets, including an outrageous 16-14 deciding set, the longest Grand Slam final ever in terms of games played. That got him his 15th major, eclipsing Pete Sampras's then record. In 2011, he was thought to be done again. But 2012 featured his 7th Wimbledon title, tying another one of Sampras's records and a return to #1 in the world as he tossed aside Andy Murray. Now, he hasn't won a major since then, but the 2014 Davis Cup title for Switzerland, its first ever, Federer counts as one of his favorite accomplishments. Last year, he pushed Djokovic to 5 sets at Wimbledon, with vintage playing the 4th set, which I only recently deleted from my DVR. So thrilling was it to see FedEx turn back the clock. This past Sunday, he couldn't overcome Joker again. And as usual, Fed handled it with class and a little humor.
I think Novak played not only great today, but the whole 2 weeks, plus the whole year, plus last year, plus the year before that. So.
But seriously, the accomplishments are staggering for a guy who doesn't get as much pub as he should. 17 majors, the most all time. 7 Wimbledons, 5 U.S. Opens, 4 Aussies, and 1 French Open title. Only the 7th player to ever capture the career slam. The consistency is also jaw-dropping and unprecedented. 10 straight Grand Slam finals, 23 straight Grand Slam semis, 36 consecutive Grand Slam quarters, 237 consecutive weeks at #1, and over 1,000 lifetime wins. Oh, and perfect salad. He looks like James Bond with a racket. But numbers only tell part of the story. It's the sublime play itself which is so enriching, so contagious. David Foster Wallace compared the brute force of Fed's forehand motion with that of a great liquid whip. John McEnroe described Fed's forehand as the greatest shot in our sport. He showed incredible dexterity later in his career and an ability to adapt to the times, moving from having no coach to Paul Annacone to Stefan Edberg, who's encouraged him to serve and volley more to perfection. The slice, the passing shots, the jump smashes, the half volleys, the stupendous between the legs tweener or hot dog versus Djokovic at the 2009 U.S. Open. The accomplishments, the elegant, graceful style of play are noteworthy, but ultimately, it's Federer himself who makes you want to root for him. You see his avuncular dad wearing his son's hat in the crowd with his mom Lynette and his wife Mirka, who now has somehow corralled a set of twin girls and twin boys. And despite the regal appearance of the Anna Wintour approved wardrobe, her man has a big heart. Federer is a noted philanthropist with programs like Rally for Relief after the 2004 tsunami and Hit for Haiti after the earthquake in 2010. He's twice won the Arthur Ashe Humanitarian Award. And yet, it's his vulnerability that makes Roger most likable. The unsightly 10-23 all-time record versus Rafael Nadal hurts, even with 15 of those matches on Nadal's preferred surface of clay. And you can tell by the image of the normally phlegmatic Fed, who never breaks a sweat, breaking down in tears after losing to Rafa at the Australian Open in 2009, how much the game means to him. He yearns to win just one more major. The Lion in Winter afforded one last epic roar. Federer was a marvelous champion, but it's his class in defeat, his gracious smile and acknowledgement which lingers. A reminder that the homespun cliche is apt. It's adversity which reveals one's true character. So savor as incredible a champion as you'll ever see in an individual sport. Yeah, I'm biased. An unabashed Fed head with a man crush twice the size of his native Switzerland. But would you want to bet against him?